Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the Beyond Education series organized by Idym Group of Companies. It is a unique talk show in which you will be listening to inspiring journeys of people from various fields and from different parts of the world. Everyone needs inspiration, and Beyond Education will give you the edge you need, inspiring you to succeed. As entrepreneurs, leaders, managers, and boss, we must realize that everything we think actually matters. A person who inspires others usually has a positive attitude and maintains high energy even when things are not going well. More importantly, the person also encourages and inspires other people in accomplishing their goals. Educators, I believe, are the most responsible and important members of society because their professional experts affect the fate of the earth. They are expected to reach unattainable goals with inadequate tools. The miracle is that at times they accomplish this impossible task. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming a highly committed, self motivated, and enthusiastic educator, Dr. Pooja Dikshit ma'am. Madam, I welcome you to the show. She is visiting faculty at Belagavi High International School, Baroda. She is a proactive leader and researcher with more than 20 years of experience teaching courses on undergraduate and postgraduate levels, proficient in planning and appropriate teaching programs to optimize the learning process while effectively addressing the students' needs, skilled in integrating relevant technology to support classroom instructions and learning activities. She has hands on experience in developing curriculum to accommodate different learning styles and maximizing students' comprehension. She has presented and published a number of research papers in conferences and journals, and various articles written by her has been published in the local magazine and newspapers. She has received Excellence in Teaching Awards, and she was awarded in the category of Student Wellbeing Champion Award for creating a supportive socio-emotional learning environment for all students during online classes 2020. And she has also received INSC Young Researcher Award by Institute of Scholars, Bangalore. She is also received an award of eminent speaker at Career Guidance Webinar, Udan, Sky is the Limit, organized by Nirdesh Educational Foundation, Education and Research Foundation. So this was in short about Pooja ma'am, and we will be discussing more of her achievements and her journey in the show. So once again, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Anju ma'am, and it's my privilege to be a part of this wonderful talk show. And this platform is very close to my heart. I've been associated with this platform, and today I want to thank you once again, Ravi sir, and the entire team of IDYM for inviting me on this talk show. And I think this platform has given all of us who are being a part a wing to fly, like to fly freely, and with this talk show, this is one of the milestone we have achieved. Thank you once again, Anju ma'am, and the entire team of IDYM.
Yes, ma'am. Probably they have at least said that it is a platform that we have got to interact and to share
Yes,
our views. It's really a wonderful platform.
indeed.
Yes, ma'am. So let's start with your journey. Yes,
Yeah.
we're about to see
So,
some.
yeah. Am I audible perfectly, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, ma'am, talking about my journey as an educator, to begin with the journey of my life, I was born and brought up in a liberal educator family in small town of Uttar Pradesh. Traveling down my memory lane, I have been a proud elder daughter of my parents with two younger sisters whom I love the most. And from coming to my studies, from being a science graduate to a doctorate in humanities, have been a long story. So my life took a 360 turn, ma'am, when I lost both of my parents at the age of 19, and my younger siblings were in grade 5 and 8, so three girls left alone on the mercy of others. So that was a time which really bring about a turning point in my life. And I was in my first year of graduation. You can understand how a graduate girl will be, full of aspirations with beautiful dreams, and beautiful dream of becoming an IS officer, which my father wants me to be. It was shattered very badly, and my reason to live was totally blurred at that point of a time. But as rightly said, and I still remember my father's word that If you nothing is impossible for a willing heart. And that time, my sister's survivals and giving them a beautiful life were the only two driving force which made me strong enough to bounce back. And with the grace of Almighty Lord and support of my close friends and paternal and maternal relatives, I could come out of that uh, biggest hurdle of my life swiftly and speedily. And I started my first job, ma'am, at the age of 19, in 1998, as a librarian in a reputed college in Uttar Pradesh only. And that job was again given on the mercy background that I would like to mention here, because my father was a government officer, and we all know that a kind of a support is given by the government. And I took that because that was the need of the hour, because I want an economic support. I want to stand on my feet. But ma'am, my hunger to become an IS officer was still there, and I wanted to go to do something. So that made me inclined towards now again I have quit the job and I have to go with regular because the practical subject. So I got into this humanities, and this there I did my master in sociology with a regular job of 9 to 5. And there, ma'am, my teachers, my mentors supported me a lot. And again, Almighty was there. I secured second position in the university, and which boosted up my morale and confidence to go ahead for the doctorate degree in the respective field. So this was a my story, ma'am. From there start my journey of being a part of an education fraternity. So being surrounded by the educators, looking into their work, coming from an education background. So this made me that this is the profession, because ma'am, this is the only profession. After this, we are the makers of other professions. Teachers are the makers. Teachers will make the different things. So this was a very fascinating thing. And having being a dual responsibility, being a guardian to my sisters and a research scholar with during that time, it became difficult sometime. But with my hard work and my determination, I completed my PhD with a span of 4 years. And I tried to overcome, ma'am. I tried to overcome all the challenges with a willing heart. And both my sisters were also well settled in the respective field during those time. And right now they are in one of my sisters is an engineer. She's a lecturer in one of the reputed engineering college, and my other sister is in the social work sector, and they are doing a very good job in their respective field. So, ma'am, from there I have learned that never lose hope, because a single leaf can be the beginning of forest. Since then, I've been into the education sector, and I've been teaching in school, colleges, universities at different places and in different capacities. I never thought about ki I'm a PhD, so I won't go for the school. No, that was not in my mind, because I wanted to give a try, avail all the good opportunities which makes me learn and grow. And ma'am, at present, I've been a visiting faculty, as you just mentioned, and I recently started working as an assistant professor in one of the reputed university. And I'm on a mission of creating a positive education environment, empowering young minds by making them believe that we all have our own unique story, and it is in our hand to write down it beautifully. And today, ma'am, I might be taking your time, but today I want to thank to everyone who has been a part of my journey. First of all, my husband, who is my strongest support, and my in laws, who were always motivating me to live my dream. And on this wonderful day, I am deeply thankful and blessed for the special, unique, amazing people in my life who support me, uplift me, comfort me, and bring joy to my soul as they share a piece of their own in precise magical moment. It needed to happen. And ma'am, definitely, they really bring about a major change in my life. To everyone along my journey, thanks for not giving up. Thank you for not losing hope on me. And you were all light during my dark time. Thank you for shining throughout every cloud that comes my way. Thank you for the sunshine you all bring into my life. And I believe and proudly say that whatever had come to my life in the form of roads, turns, and tunnels, my aspirations and my education, ma'am, played an important role in making me who am I. So this was a brief, or we can say, my journey of my life, ma'am.
That's wonderful, ma'am. That's wonderful. Actually, how you tried to overcome all the challenges that were coming in your path, and still you are like shining now. And we hope that you will be having much more success in future to come. And ma'am, as you said, now you are an educator, you work in different colleges and schools. So, what, according to you, there should be some set of skills that should be in every educator? There are a number of skills, but there should be
Yes,
that should
yes,
be
ma'am.
in every educator. What, according to you, are those skills?
Ma'am, the empathetic attitude. That is one of the soft skills that all the educators should have. And you can see, we know we talk about the critical thinking, we talk about the that interpersonal skill is the most important skill we all should develop. We can manage, we can ask our students to come on time. That is okay, but building that trust so that they can confide in us, a kind of understanding. We need to inspire them, we need to develop their critical thinking, and so that they can comprehend themselves, they can learn, they can trust in their learning process that there is someone who can be there always. And ma'am, they can achieve, the student can achieve their greatest potential in anything which they wanted to accomplish. We can give our children those building blocks through education, which is a tool which can help in giving them a decision power making. We can make them learn the moral values, and it will only come and only come when we are more empathetic and we are passionate, ma'am, about our work. We are just not doing for the sake of 9 to 5 job, just to say. Here people might not agree with me, but I will say that economic factor is important, but ma'am, the emotional factor is also very important. You can create, I just mentioned, you can create a miracles in one's life as an educator, ma'am, as an educator. A number of examples we have. I just mentioned in my story that how my mentor changed my life, and still I am acknowledge those things. So this is that empathetic attitude, and be passionate about your work. Never ever think कि हमें नहीं करना है. Just give your best.
It's wonderful, ma'am. We should try to give her this. And as you said, it is not a 9 to 5 job. We are
Yes.
working round the clock. Many
Yes.
a times we are working round the clock to get in contact with our students and get the work done by them. And just like you have worked in school, you have worked in college, but mainly you're somewhere dealing with young students. We can say you're working with the youth of the country. So, as an educator, how do you address the problems of young students? Because they are having many
Number
times
of problems. Yes.
now they are having a number of problems. So, how do you deal with them? How do you help them to solve those problems?
Wonderful question, ma'am, and wonderful. Today only I had a discussion, a long discussion on this, and I took my class. I was not focusing on the syllabus. I gave them something which was very important, and I was addressing my master students, and we had a discussion on how to, I have given the topic body shaming, and then from that comes how the psychology of a student is, and how bullying is affecting them, how their mental and that mental trauma is going prolonging and getting them disturbed. So, ma'am, first of all, I would like to say that students are my power, and it should be a power of every educator, because whatever we are because of our students only. So, I try to make them self aware about their weaknesses and strengths, first of all, ma'am, in a different way. I make them write down things which really creating a problem in them. So when they write those things, that some of the things they come to know that okay, that could be the solution. So I always tried experimenting with my students. I ask them to observe the problems in their day to day life, try to come with the solutions, because we all know, but we deny oneself. नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. So I am trying to develop a problem solving approach in their life, and we should make them a part of our teaching. We should not go in the class कि नहीं today आज तो हमें पढ़ाना ही पढ़ाना है. No, it should be a one on one, like moving. Now it's your turn. Now we will discuss on this. I think it should be more of giving and taking the things. So sometimes we should listen to them also. And when we listen to them, then I think most of the problem they will be coming with the solution to it. So we make me I always say that whatever the situation is, always have a smile on your face. When you smile, the things, the mind work in that way. So This is one way of my dealing with the problems of young students. And the passion, and we need to be very we need to have a very patiently, we need to listen to them. It's not कि हम अपने काम में लगे हैं. No, we have to be very resilient in our dealing with them. We need to approach them very rightly. uh, as I just mentioned, that empathetic trust building is again a part of that. And I make it a point, even if I'm lagging behind in my syllabus, I make it a point to hit to their minds. I hit always. I try to that make only that one.
Wonderful, ma'am. It was really an excellent answer that was given to you and the teachers. Really, we have to develop that empathetic. And as we were telling, that we need to talk, we need to listen, because many problems that can be solved by talking to each other. And since
Yes,
this is something which is lacking, that we don't talk to each other nowadays. We talk to
yes,
our devices and mostly the youngsters. So
yeah.
as we are talking about youngsters, so one more question related to youngster. What according to you is the role of youth in nation building?
Ma'am, first of all, we need youth. We know youth is the biggest power in today's. They are the leaders of tomorrow. So first of all, we need to give them the voices and the choices. Both the things are very, very important. The choices and the voices, which can bring about a drastic change. And today's youth want to stand on their feet, and they wanted to live a life of pride and dignity. So, empowering youth means, or the role of a youth in nation building, integrating, bringing about their creativity, bringing about their energy, and the power they have, the spark they have. And then only we can make our India a self-reliant India, or a person a self-reliant. That spark has to come out. That initiation has to be done by a mentor. And in this constantly changing world, they need to learn inquiring based problem solving skills so that they can be a successful member of the society and live a productive life, ma'am. And I think all the students need to learn. Their IQ may be different, ma'am. They might not be getting a good marks, but we all have that creative skill. We as a future teachers need to motivate students with learning, exploring, investigating, discovering, and inquiring. And me, ma'am, together you will be we need to learn together. I will again mention that we need to learn together. We need to inquire together. We all, like as a teacher, as a student, we should stand, and then only we can think about a self-reliant nation, ma'am. Any part of the world, if you talk about number of examples you have, ma'am.
Yeah, very like you said, ma'am. As we are talking about it, and you have written a number of articles. That's really amazing that you have written a number of articles that have been published in newspapers. So here, because we are talking again about youth and children, so somewhere a question related to one of your articles that you have written about child labor. I think it was, yes, stolen childhood, a brief study on child labor. So,
Yes, ma'am.
what was that? Would you like to share something about that?
Basically, ma'am, I have written that article in my when I was in it was around 2004, and this child labor was very much prevalent, and there are a number of example in the UP. There's a place, Firozabad, where the bangles are being made, and I happened to visit that place, and I could see that the young children were working in those small industries, and it was really heart touching. So I couldn't resist myself, and then I wanted to dive into those, that why it is happening. So I came to know that there are various economic factors, social factors. They are below the poverty line, and their family is not able to support them, so they are sending this. But ma'am, this is in our Constitution of India. Article 14 talks about that it's right to equality. We can't differentiate on the basis of different things. So it is their right to get an education, and we need to create awareness about it. People are not knowing which is what is Article 14. That is that, and that really made me that I should do something which should I should create awareness, and because I'm an educator. because ma'am, through education we can promote, we can develop the talent and the mental and physical ability to the fullest potential. And the government is doing, I won't deny, government are taking all the necessary steps, and now it is not that much visible because the youth, the young child are also aware, and the RTE which has come up is one of the tool which is trying to reduce this child labor. But as a citizen of India, if we find anyone, any child working or coming, like our maid's son or daughter, it's our responsibility that we should tell them that you are supposed to be into school, beta. There are various government schools, there are various schools which give that privilege, which give that opportunity to learn them. So this things was really very important, and I wanted to highlight those things during those time, ma'am. And I think my article brings about a little bit of changes during that time. So I think being the sociologist, we should keep, as a sociologist, we should keep working on these social issues by through our articles, through a part of being a rally. So then only the change can come, ma'am. Change is very much important, but you should know what tools you are using. It should not be a violent one. It should be a non-violent through different modes. So this is what I wanted to share in that article.
Yeah, tools really matters, and we as an educator,
Yeah.
we have a great responsibility actually. We
Yes.
have, and it is the small article, small messages or poems that can make a lot of, it can make a lot of difference in fact. And today is actually International Men's Day.
Yes.
When I was
Yes.
seeing your profile, your PhD topic was problems of working women.
Yes, ma'am.
So that was nearly 10 years ago when you completed your
Yes.
PhD. It was
Yes, ma'am.
2009. So
Hmm.
it was nearly 10 years ago. So what do you think? You must have presented a study according to those days. What do you think? How the scenario has changed? Are the working
Ma'am,
women still having problems?
yeah, problems are there, ma'am. Problems are now, but the problem while they used to have before 10 years was a bit different. Was a bit different. To talk about it, cooperation was not from their family side, but right now people are getting, women are getting aware. The families are getting promoting them, supporting them. So this change have come up because of modernization, because of urbanization. People are migrating from rural areas to urban areas, and they know that to survive in a metro cities, working of both the couples are required. So this kind of change has come, and I have done my studies in a city, Muzaffarnagar, because I was working that time, and I was unmarried, ma'am, and my colleagues were like married, and they always keep saying, आज ऐसा हो गया, आज हमने ये नहीं किया, मेरे in-laws ने ऐसा बोला, okay. So it was like, why? So during those time, I was not able to understand that how role conflict, how you have to dwell responsibility will make them these kind of a problem. But when I'm into this, my situations are different. My social settings are different. So the rural areas or the town which are not that developed have more problem in comparison to the metro cities. As talking about UP is a very conservative state. The women were not allowed that openly. So the problems were there. I have done case studies also. I have one-on-one stories. I have listened to them. So it was really that both the couples were going to the job, but the women was not given anyone like, please आप कुछ खा लो. No, no, no. No worries. बेटा खा के जाएगा. बेटी बहू को तो कुछ नहीं देना है. So this was a kind of a situation that time. But now change have come indeed, and there are various reasons because the men have started supporting them. And ma'am, the problem is because of the stereotype in the society, because of the patriarchal structure of the society, Indian structure. So they feel that there should be a differentiation. But again, the recent example of a movie, Key and Ka. Now the movie reflects what's going on in the social life. So when such kind of a movies are coming up, it means the changes are coming up. It is clearly visible. If you talk to any young person, so they will say, "Ah, it's okay to my spouse to be working," and they really help them out. They do the cooking, they do all the mopping also, ma'am. And after COVID, the things have totally been changed, totally been changed. So the profile, like my husband is very supportive. I just mentioned in my story. So, and in where I am residing, I now the problem is just for the dual responsibility, a role strain come up sometime. Otherwise, in terms of liberty, it is not there. It is not there, and I think it might or more improve in the later years.
Yes, it will improve. In fact, it has improved as we were talking about, and because I see that so many women, those who are working, if we compare this, the situation has somewhere changed. The people are now more open to like, okay, the women should work, women can work, and all. But
And then one thing more, changes have come in the social institution also. Talking about marriage, talking about family, then like the family. Earlier we have used to have a joint family. So the joint family concept, people were living together. They have their own desires, own expectations. So that was also one of the reasons. Now I won't say that joint families are not good. They are because it builds up cooperation, it builds up different skills. We become more compassionate. But again, the expectations from that particular lady, because of the stereotype, because women is a weaker sex, so that kind of expectation was a major role. And you know, ma'am, I divided my study into two: the organized and the unorganized sector. So organized sector, the women who were working in school, banks, colleges, different sectors, and the unorganized sectors, the maids who are coming daily, who are working for no norms, no regular this leaves were required. So till now, if we talk about the unorganized sector, they don't face that much because they are very free. We will be earning, so we will be earning. So they are not thinking about their emotional thing. They are because their focus is on only the economic thing. So that kind of a thing also I have observed during my research. But right now, we is the organized as well as the unorganized sector, both the problem which they are facing is of the role strain and role conflict. Now coming to the marriage have changed. Earlier, marriage in Hindu marriage is a sacrament, and we know that Muslim marriage were a contract. So this kind of a change have also come in the institution is the kinship. Now, earlier, we were very much inclined to our relationship, the primary relationship, the relationship was a main bond which bind us together. But right now, it has totally been changed. We all are becoming more self-centered. So things are there, but on an individualistic basis. Earlier, it was more of a group basis. This is the change which have come up.
yes, ma'am, there's a lot of changes that have come up. And nowadays we are again talking about feminism. So what according to you, how relevant it is, and especially about India, relevance of feminism in India, I can say.
It's a very wonderful question you have asked, ma'am. Because through this platform, I wanted to clear that feminism, as there's a myth about it that it talks about that raising up the standard of women and putting down the men. No, it's not that. It is a belief in having socio-economic and political equality of both the sexes. Now, the concept of feminism started with a political ideology which was closely associated with women's studies. And we used to women as a movement, the changing status in various parts of the world, and started with the Victorian age. So there are four focus of feminism in general. We can say the effort was to make women self-conscious category. It was a force to generate a rational attitude in towards women that women are not weaker. They can be approached in different way. They are in person. They have their own position. So there were different. This was a perspective. And ma'am, feminism is more than a voice of protest or questioning. It is a moral self-reflection, a conquering of inner fears, of realization of self-worth. It does not abandon values or relationships. It goes on creating new ones. And we have number of examples, ma'am. If you talk about the Kalidas, Shakuntala, and there were incidences where women have brought up, they have been nurtured in a domestic setup of a patriarchal exclusion, and they have totally surrendered to the authority, but they have fight for their moral right. They have come up in front of the kings, and we have example of Draupadi. So this feminism doesn't talk, it talks only about the self-worth, it talks about giving that identity in a pluralistic society. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I totally agree with you. And so that when we talk, it is not like this. We should be concentrating on only on women. It is not that only women are having problems. Even the men have a lot of problems.
Yes, yes,
They have different kinds of problems. And if we want to, like we always talk about sustainable development and all, so it is not possible if we concentrate only on men. You have to
yes.
concentrate on both the sections of the society. That was actually very important.
And you know, ma'am, I think we all, as a women, we should have our own choices. We need to have that choice of choosing a home, choosing a partner. It's our wish how to look beautiful. It's our one self. It's nobody else's choice. So again, this feminism talks about that for men as well as for women. It's their personal choice. You can't interfere in those things. This is what they are, and people are talking about nay, feminism is something different. No, ma'am, it is talking about equality of both the sexes.
Yes, that's very important. Validity of both the genders is really
And
important.
this is creating a mental stress, ma'am.
Yeah. It is.
Again, the gender stereotype is attached to it. Like our male can't cry. They do have emotions, ma'am. They do have emotions. They can also cry. But again, the social setting of Indian society is as such that they will be deprived of like showcasing their emotions.
Yes. And yes, ma'am. Like one more a small question. Like what is something which you will never compromise of in your personal and professional life? Because there are many things we have to make a lot of adjustments. Sometimes compromises too for a smooth life sometimes. But what is that you would never compromise?
Oh, wonderful question, ma'am. And I'm thankful for asking me that because it's again which will make me will be okay. What are my strengths? So, ma'am, I build and leverage human connection. I believe in human centric approach. I give value to all my connections and I try to come to their expectation. Expectation means I try to build the trust in them. And sometimes it might be like sound very emotional, but it is one of my strengths because of which I am today here. So I give importance to all my relationship, ma'am, and I won't compromise. Even if it is a professional life, I will try to give that person all the kind of comfort or all the kind of needs required, things required to that person. Talking about my friend, talking about my employer, I will be try to give them the 100%. In that, I won't compromise. I will be truthful to them. I will be honest in all my commitments. That is one of my thing which I won't make it a point that, and I could fight for that if if I'm in a career, I could fight for that also.
And yes, ma'am, like when you're working, okay, whatever profession we choose, whatever whatever kind of life we have, we will be always having persons who inspire us throughout our life. As a student or as an educator, you must be inspired by someone. You must be having some role models. So who were the role models that you had in your life?
Ma'am, my role model was my father, and he only taught me whatever I'm speaking today. Though the period was not that much, I was, it's like 16, 17 years, as I just mentioned. I lost them very at early age of my life. But the skill, that he taught me that your skills and talents are not only the qualities which help you move in life, but be a good human being. Don't criticize others. Give a helping hand to others. And that is your power of getting into the heart of people. And I remember that, ma'am. He used to say, when, like, death ends a life, but it does not end a relationship. We struggle on in the survival mind towards some resolution, which it never ends life. So that statement I still remember, and I pursue. I continue with my life commitment, with my all my life work with that statement. That again, the earlier question which you asked me, that's why I value these human relationships.
We should always remember that we are humans. And if we have this skill, we have this humanity skill, we can excel in every field. It is not just about education. It is not just about having a very bright career. But if we are human beings, good human beings, we can excel everywhere. And yes, ma'am, because you have a lot of achievements. You have a lot of achievements as we were as I was reading. So, according to you, the biggest achievement
Of mine. Pardon, ma'am. Anju, ma'am.
is what, according to you, is the biggest achievement in your life.
My ma'am, my biggest achievement is my power of connections, my power of radiating happiness wherever I am. I never, I always consider other opinion, ma'am. I always listen to them. I try to become a very good listener so that people can have build that trust in me. And that is what I have achieved. And not in terms of professional, ma'am. I'm talking in terms of human relationship. Till now, ma'am, till now, I have been connected with all my teachers coming from the school till now. And this is what I have earned, ma'am. They still remember me. And this is my biggest achievement as a human being. And the love of my students,
Yeah, of
which they
course.
always ponder on me through their notes, through their cards. That is one of my biggest strengths, ma'am. I'm a small drop, ma'am. I'm a small drop in a big ocean.
Yes. Being an educator, I think the love of the students is the biggest achievement.
Yes,
Even I feel that. And yes, ma'am, what are your future goals?
ma'am. My future goal talking about it is one can be more talking about professional and personal goal. So I wanted to contribute to the society through my social work, social activities. This is how can and an educator. I wanted to motivate my students a lot, and I told you earlier that I want a mission of empowering their young minds. And on my personal, I always want to be a ferocious learner. I want to be a doer always. I don't want anyone to turn my sky into ceiling. So I will be keep trying until I succeed. So this is what I am working in this field of educator, and I am trying to work for the society also by doing certain by associated with some NGOs. I'm working for that so that a few of my things can happen, can bring about a smile to the person who are really in need. So this is one of my these are the two things which I am trying to focus on that. And again, professional is like writing good articles so that again I can bring about a change through my articles, being doing a good research work, so it can be helpful to my students when they read it. And one of thing is that the last thing which I wanted to mention that Jawaharlal Nehru once said, "Woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, miles to go before I sleep." So I have to go ahead, ma'am. I have to conquer, like I have to conquer this world, in not in terms of professionals, in terms of all rounder things, in terms of a holistic development. I want a holistic development of myself as well as of others, wherever I am, in whichever thing I'm doing.
That was really great interacting with you, ma'am. And all the future goals that you have just expressed. We pray that all your future goals, all your dreams come true. And it was a great interaction. It was great interacting with you, ma'am. And with this, we come to the end of the session. And I thank you very much for joining with us and sharing your life journey with us and all your views with us. Thank you. And I also thank Ravi sir for the opportunity and the team of IDYM for bringing up the wonderful talk show Beyond Education. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. One last thing which I wanted to, or a message I wanted to give to my youth that तू थकेगा नहीं, तू रुकेगा नहीं, तू मुड़ेगा नहीं, कर शपथ, अग्निपथ, अग्निपथ. Keep trying. Never ever think that you can't do it. We all have that spark. It's just you have to ignite that. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.